Okay, the Lord this morning said the phrase to me. He said, an unusual request. And a few moments later, he told me that some of his children are going to be presented with some unusual requests, and this is by his leading. He said that some of these things are going to be contrary to the norm. They're going to be somewhat ridiculous in some instances. They're going to kind of make no sense. But he wants us to be aware of this ahead of time so that we are obliged to fulfill these requests that he is making of us. Some of these requests are going to be coming directly from him. Some are going to be like circumstances that you encounter. Others will be requests from different people. And it's going to be somewhat ridiculous. But he says that this is something that he wants you to, when this request is made, he wants you to accept it and get it done, because there's a purpose behind it. There's a purpose behind it. And he's saying that, for some people, it's going to be just a test of their faith and obedience. But for others, it's going to be something that leads to an open door, that may lead to their next season, that may lead to something, some blessing in their life. It's going to be something. All right, thank you, Lord. He's saying that in some cases it's going to be a blessing for others. It's going to be, through your obedience, it's going to be a blessing for others, even though it may seem ridiculous. Okay. So he reminded me of Jericho, and how he told them to march around the city for 7 days, and that was a pretty ridiculous request. Pretty ridiculous. But they were obedient, and the walls came down, and it allowed them, their obedience to this, what seemed to be a ridiculous request, their obedience to this allowed them to enter into the land that he had for them. Okay. He also brought up to mind when Jesus was washing the feet of his disciples. Peter, sorry, this bug keeps on flying into my face. Peter didn't understand. Like, he was like, no, I'm not going to let you wash my feet. And Jesus said to him, you don't understand now, but you're going to understand after the fact. And even after Jesus said this to him, Peter continued, and he said, no, I will not let you wash my feet. And Jesus finally told him, he was like, if you don't let me do this, you have no part in me. It was a ridiculous thing in Peter's eyes. Peter wanted to be the one to wash Jesus' feet, and to have Jesus wash his feet, it seemed counter to what should happen, contrary to what should happen, right? But it was for a purpose, and it required obedience. the Lord is faithful to give us a heads up ahead of time. I'm thankful for that. Like he's wonderful. I don't remember where it's located in his word, but there is a passage that says he does not do anything without telling his prophets first. So he's faithful. He's faithful to tell us what's going on ahead of time. So if and when you are presented with this very unusual request, know that there is a reason behind it and that your obedience is going to bring about something that is good. I love you.